everybody, this is Michelle chiming in again on my 9th day of my 30-day fast. I must say, and I have to be honest with you, next to giving birth, this is probably the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. It's very challenging, very daunting, and very exhausting. So I just want to put that out there because I don't want you guys to think this is the easiest thing to do. I mean, after all, you're fighting against yourself. You have to have a strong will and determination to do this. And not everybody can do it. And fasting is not for everybody. I just want to put that out there. Fasting is not for everybody. If you feel like you have to eat every 2 hours, or you feel like you have to have 3 meals a day and snacks in between, I don't think fasting is for you. You have to really be determined to restrict your food intake. I was talking to a loved one earlier today, and I encouraged him to do just a 2-day fast, just with juice, just so he can get used to not eating, because that's what fasting is. You're not eating. And then I told him to do a couple of those fasts, fast for 2 days, eat for 2 days, fast for 2 days, eat for 2 days, and then the following week, go ahead and start fasting with water. Because if you've never done a fast before, it is hard, because all you think about for the first 4 days of a fast is food. Commercials present food, and if you have people that you live with, your loved ones, or cooking or preparing meals or coming home with fast food, you don't realize how much you think about food until you're fasting and you can't eat. So you have to really be determined to do what is necessary. And if you're doing it to lose weight, you really have to be committed. You can't play games. I've done that. I've tried. I started and tried and, couldn't do it. I had a function to go to, so I didn't want to fast so I could eat. So it's things you have to consider when you're fasting. And you have to be prepared and expect the symptoms that you get, because that's what you deal with the most. You're going to have detoxifying headaches, and you can't take anything for them because you don't want to put any chemicals in your body while you're fasting. You might have a little acne breakout. That's another sign of detoxification. You'll have a little bit of movement in your colon to get rid of the food that's already in there that's being digested. So you're still going to have bowel movement. And once your colon empties, it's going to slow down, and you might go a couple of days without a bowel movement. I'm used to having a bowel movement every day. I know I'm probably sharing too much information at this point, but I just want to tell you what I'm going through right now. I have a little bit of strength, just getting off from work. Had a lot of work to do, laundry, preparing meals. Oh my gosh. I had to make Mr. Harold some coconut shrimp, mashed potatoes and gravy, and cornbread. Oh man, it was smelling so good. But I didn't taste it. I wanted to, but I didn't taste it. And so you have those challenges. It's not easy. I think the person that would probably have the easiest go of this is somebody who lives alone, who doesn't have to prepare food or isn't around food, and someone who takes maybe a week or 2 off to just fast and rest. Fast and rest. So if you're not in that situation, I'm telling you, you're going to have some challenges. And don't feel bad if you make up your mind to do a 2-day fast and you can only make it through 1. You're going to have to take baby steps with this, because if you've never fasted before, it's going to be foreign to you to go without eating, especially if you're somebody that eats all day long. You shouldn't be eating all day long, first of all. Fasting is an ancient practice. The early humans, do you know that they didn't eat all day long? They didn't have snacks. If they was in a group, The men would go out and hunt. They'd kill an animal, and everybody would feast for a day, maybe two, and then they wouldn't eat for days. And then as humans progressed, they didn't eat 3 meals a day. The food industry incorporated that. The medical industry incorporated that because they knew that if we overate, that would cause health problems and they would make money. So this 3 meals a day and snacks in between is a lie. You do not need to eat that much food. You really don't. We could all survive on 1 meal a day, realistically, 1 meal a day. And I'm not overweight because I overeat. And people who know me know that I don't eat a lot of food. I typically try to eat something for breakfast, but most of the time I skip breakfast. If I have time for lunch, I'll have something, but at dinner I don't finish my plate. Especially if I go out to a restaurant. I never finish my plate if I go out to a restaurant because they bring too much food. I always take home a doggy bag. So this idea of eating all day long just makes no sense. It's making America fat. That's why we have so many obese people today, because of overconsumption. And we need to break that habit. We're passing that on to our children. You know, everybody says, well, my parents were overweight, so it's hereditary. That's a lie. Your parents were overweight, and they taught you how to be overweight, eating all that food. So, I know I'm probably stepping on some toes. I don't care, because people need to learn. You don't need to eat that much food. You really don't. Let's see, what else? So I lost 3 pounds, and I'm hoping that this will keep going every day. And I had to talk to my brother-in-law today because I needed some encouragement from him, because he used to fast a whole month every year before his birthday. And he would get really thin, and I had an incident last night. My poor son, he was out driving for Lyft, and I texted him and said, I almost died. And he called me right away. Mom, what's wrong? And my poor daughter, she was there to help me. I was throwing up bile, and it wasn't very nice. I made such a horrible sound that even my husband came to my aid, and he doesn't do that. He saw me convulsing, and all this bile was coming up, and it was burning my throat. It was coming out of my nose, like gasping for air. I don't know if you've ever thrown up, and you have to gasp for air because the acid is just burning your esophagus, and you can't get any air in. And I thought I was suffocating. It was a horrible sight, and my daughter saw it all. Poor thing. She was like, Mom, what can I do for you? I said, just get me some cold water, honey. She brought the water. Can I get anything else? I said, no. Can I do this? No. I was sounding like a pitiful, wounded animal. But my son said when he got home, he said, Mom, I think you just have some toxicity that's coming out, and it was building up in your stomach, and it just had to come out. And he said that's probably what happened. And after that, I had all this mucus coming out. So my body's trying to get rid of the mucus that's been building up in my system. And my brother-in-law said the same thing. There's just junk in my body that the body is trying to expose. So I was happy to hear that, because I thought, really, for a minute, I said, man, maybe I need to eat. Of course, that thought left me right away, knowing that I was going to have to do this video tomorrow. I was like, no, I can't fail. I can't fail. There's too many people counting on me. There's too many people rooting for me. So if you've never fasted, please, I beg of you, consult your doctor. Don't start a fast without talking to your doctor, because you really need to be under medical care if you've never done a fast. I'm not under medical care, but I know what to expect because I've done several small fasts before this one. So this video is 10 minutes long already, so I'm going to end here. But I'm at 248, and I'm going to post a picture of the scale to prove it to you right after I finish this video. So thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope I made somebody out there laugh, because it was a funny scene. I mean, looking back on it, it was pretty funny yesterday. But look for my video tomorrow. I love you guys. Mwah. God bless.